All right, all right, all right, all right. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I am James Oliver Jr., co-founder and CEO of Kabila, which connects overlooked founders to capital, co-founders in community, capital in that we are raising a fund to invest in, founders in our Kabila community. Co-founders, we have a co-founder matching app and community. This is it. We're in community right now, helping y'all transform your founder dreams into a reality. That's what we do. And I'm super excited today. We have a very special guest with us. We have a good friend now, a new friend, but good friend, Breen Sullivan from The Fourth Effect. What is going on, Breen?
Well, first of all, thank you so much for inviting me here to speak today. Very excited to hop into this community and speak about The Fourth Effect. Love to just dive in with a description of what The Fourth Effect's all about. It is...
Yeah, hang on one second. I just want to, so we had a couple people in the room here. I just want to encourage them to just, in the comments, just let us know where you're coming in from. And also, like, what's your biggest need as a founder right now? And so we'll do some Q&A, and we'll do our best to get to all the questions. I know we'll have more people popping in here as we go along. I already see more people popping in. If you could drop your questions in the Q&A, please. It's hard for me to keep up with the chat-tige. So that's it. So we're going to get right into this. What is The Fourth Effect, Breen? How are you?
Okay, so The Fourth Effect is a new kind of networking and matchmaking site. It's an entrepreneurial ecosystem. What we are doing is leveling the playing field by democratizing access to smaller company, largely startups, but startup advisory and governing boards, and also investment opportunities. So today we have around 3,000. Actually, really, I think the last time I checked, I should update my numbers. It's more like 3,400 premium members inside the Fourth Effect platform. Around 1,000 of them are pre-seed through Series A founders who are interested in, learning all they can about advisory boards, governing boards, and then being able to fill those seats and leverage them to get funding. And we then have around 2,000 executives, around 30 venture funds, and 150 angels, GPs, LPs. So our backroom investment club is very much connected to what's happening with those advisory boards and governing boards, as it should be. Really, our mission is to, how do we really empower and incentivize all of these startups to really understand how they can make the best use possible of their advisory boards and governing boards to effectively fundraise and to get to that next level in their company to scale.
So good. All right, this is great. I see more people popping in. Good to see the folks popping in. I'm glad I completely messed up the time there, so I'm glad people got beyond that are in the building. So yeah, see people are coming in. Let us know where you're coming in from in the chat. Daryl Roy from Inside Connect, B2B, seeking pre-seed funding. Kimberly Evans, who's just her ride share. Do you know Kimberly? She's got like an Uber for women. It's really cool.
Oh.
Yeah, Kimberly Red, she says, Stan's FinTech, biggest need is pre-seed, seed funding. I mean, as you know, that's the biggest challenge for everybody, right?
Big challenge. Yep.
That's the biggest challenges. So we're going to go along here. We don't have a lot to talk about. We know y'all going to have questions. So drop your questions in the Q&A. We got Breen for 30 minutes. So by the way, Kat Dehane, how does Kat pronounce her last name? Dehane or Dehan? Dehan. So Kat is Breen's co-founder, and Kat is actually in our Kabila community. So you could always shoot her a DM. So let's talk about.
And she's gonna kill me, James, for saying this, but I can tell you that you can also call her Kat Dehot.
Dehot.
You didn't hear it from me.
She's in Sweden or something right now.
She's Swiss. She's in Switzerland.
Okay,
but
sorry.
She's in Italy right now on vacation.
Oh, okay. All right, cool. So I want to say, I just met Breen a few weeks ago because Kat was. I've known Kat for a couple of years since I started my Parentpreneur Foundation, and Kat was like, "I'm traveling, connect with Breen," and I reached out to Breen, excuse me, because, as you know, I'm fundraising for a new venture fund. And Breen was like, look, as she said, we have all these LPs, and she showed me. So I went to one of the Q&A sessions that they have on Fridays, and she showed me how to use the platform to connect with people who say, I'm an LP, hello, right? Or I'm an aspiring LP, hello. And I messaged a bunch of them. They all connected with me. Almost everybody except for one person connected with me.
It's great to hear.
right? And I've been messaging with about 4 or 5 people. It was about 27, 28 people. I've been messaging with 4 or 5 people. I have some meetings scheduled, right? Who people want to learn more about what I'm doing. It's amazing, right? Like, where does that happen? That happens no place.
Well, okay, we like to say we do this how a woman would do this. And so what I really mean by that is like this is relationships and we are really good at relationships. And I'm not saying men are not good at relationships, but I think for a lot of women there's kind of a superpower. We understand it really well. We're kind of tend to be less transactional, and I think that that goes to our benefit in this world because nobody is writing you a check and nobody is putting you on their board if you do not have a solid relationship that that exists.
Listen,
You're good at building relationships.
I love that. That's 100% true. I tell people in this community, anytime I get a mic in front of my face, I'm at my Tech Tuesdays events here in Atlanta. Investors and people invest in lines, not dots. You can't just roll up off the street talking about, yo, I'm dope, write me a check. That's not how that works.
I love that. Lines, not dots. I am stealing that.
Please do. I don't know if I made that up, but it's true. I've been saying it for years, right? You have to give people various touch points to build trust, credibility, build rapport. So I love that. So Kiana says she's with Cadoga Productions based in Boston. Biggest need is to close out her pre-seed round. Kimberly said we're great at building relationships and community. 100%. I mean, I just love how, I reached out to the women in their community and they were like, hey, James, this is awesome. I'd love to learn more. What? I mean, I did drop your name though. I was like, hey, Breen suggested I ping you because you said you were, LP. So I dropped your name. Sorry, but it worked.
Well, look, no, I'm really glad to hear it. And honestly, like I get asked all the time, like, so success metrics, like, and so of course, like we can point to, because our experience, we're kind of like if LinkedIn and Bumble had a baby or LinkedIn and Match.com had a baby and what people were, dating were board and investment opportunities.
Yeah.
That's what we're talking about, like the experience. So we have plenty of metrics when it comes to like how many people are messaging, how many people are connecting, how many people are, but what we don't have, because we're not recruiters and we don't get paid when someone signs an advisor agreement or when somebody makes an investment. We're not a funding portal. So because we are neither of those models, we are not part of each transaction that happens. So sometimes it's frustrating. I feel like I can't satisfy their question. But then I always make the point that, look, the single most compelling data point here about our success metrics are the fact that we are 100% bootstrapped. All of our growth is word of mouth. We've scaled into 40 countries and almost 500 cities worldwide. And, we have 12,000 in our bigger ecosystem. There's 3,500 in this platform. That only happens if people have success. So people like you have a positive experience, you are going to tell people. That's every single.
Well, yeah, that's what we're doing now. I'm about to record this, put on YouTube, and I'm going to tell the whole world. So yes, Kiana, LP equal limited partner. If y'all could drop your questions in the Q&A, please. So Delroy had a question. Could you tell us a short bio of yourself? I guess he wants to know what your background was.
Yes, no, I would love to. So actually, it's super relevant for kind of the vision and the idea. Like why did I create this? So, and Kat and I, but originally it was my idea. I am a tech lawyer. And what that means is that I was general counsel, head of legal for 3 different scaling tech companies. And before that, I was a big law lawyer, but that's kind of boring. But what I learned over the decade of doing this job, and it's a great job and I love the job, but I really had this insight and I realized that there was so much confusion for executives who want to sit on for-profit boards, but also that similar confusion for founders who want to build out the boards. So because of that, then there's no clear path to for-profit board service for individuals. There's a lot of confusion around who qualifies, what serving on a board even means, but startups are equally confused about who qualifies to sit in a board, when they should build one, what an advisory board is versus a governing board, how to go find the right people, how to compensate it, what is the contract they should sign, how much equity should vest month over month. And so the net effect of this mutual confusion for founders and for individuals is a bunch of unfilled board seats and empty advisory boards. And the reason why I care so much about that, being mission driven to close the gender power wealth gap and the race power wealth gap, is because of the absence of these seats, these unfilled seats and these empty boards. What that means is that there's very, very few for-profit seats. And those opportunities get handed out to whoever is very close and right there to take them, which is usually VCs buddies, entrepreneurs, their buddies. And so it's all white men for the most part. And so that lack of balance, I really believe is bad for everyone. I think we'd all do better if there was more money and power spread around.
100%. And this is why, I connected with, Kat right away, because I feel like we're vision and values aligned. And I'm not surprised when I pinged those folks in your community that they got back, because there's a values alignment around what we're doing with Kabila, connecting overlooked founders and to capital co-founders and community, and what you guys are doing, trying to, close the wealth gaps and democratize and access to information and all these amazing things. So I feel like you touched on it a little bit, but, what is your vision for the fourth effect?
So I guess big picture, what my vision is that we become kind of the go-to for startups, scaling startups, not just in the United States, but globally, when they know that they need advisors, they need to understand advisory boards, they need governing boards at some point when they get to kind of Series A or like seed plus Series A and beyond. They need to understand the strategy around it. And we just become the go-to resource for all those founders to access the templates, the education, the insight, and then of course find all the right, very talented people to put in those seats, and all very inexpensive. And then the other way that we need to be the go-to resource for these scaling founders is to really help them with their fundraising, as that connects to boards and as it doesn't connect to boards. I mean, in our Backroom Investment Club, founders can just fundraise and list their rounds, and that information will be served up as a recommended match, the Bumble swipe left, swipe right for the people who want to invest in them. But also they can do something, they can create angel advisor seats. We coined this. All it is giving preference to a super talented, amazing person that you want to join your advisory board, who also happens to be an accredited investor and who is excited to double down and have more skin in the game and get a bigger equity stake by also investing in you. So, these are the kind of indirect and direct ways that we're helping founders access funding and then, build out their board. So we want to be the go-to resource for all of them, so that ultimately, if you step back, in 10 years, when all of those scaling startups become the big private companies of tomorrow, we've changed the demographics of boards and cap tables.
Right, which leads to different outcomes for businesses, for society, for the world. Right. So you said angel advisors, you coined that term. Do you have a read on like what percentage of these relationships and transactions that occur on the platform are that type of thing versus just pure like, hey, I'm going to angel invest into your startup?
So okay, so I guess the primary opportunities that founders come in and create are either advisor opportunities that are not necessarily contingent on someone also writing you a check, and a category that we call mentor sponsor, which basically just means date before you go steady. We might be changing the name of that category to pro bono advisor, but basically a not formalized, no one's getting paid, but this is still good experience for the person who is connected.
Well, it also gives you a chance to build a relationship like we talked about.
Yeah.
Low stakes, because look, I'm sorry for cutting you off. Please continue.
No. That's where I was going with it.
Yeah, it's like, it reminds me of one of the things that I was doing when I was raising money from angels a while ago is I would reach out and ask them to help me. I was working on a new pitch deck, right? New business model. Say, hey, are you game to help me shape my pitch deck? And I did that very intentionally because I'm like, if I could get their brains on it, so now they kind of part ownership of what the outcome is for the product. But more importantly, it fast tracks rapport building, relationship building. They get to see in real time, how I take feedback, because that's important, right? And do I do what I say I'm going to do? Do I execute?
Yeah. Really important.
So, I mean, so I remember one guy I was working with like that. The deck wasn't even finished yet. He was like, "Yeah, I want to put in $5,000." I'm like, "Dope. Say less. Here go the docs. I'll send the docs tomorrow."
It's true. It's relationships. So yeah, so we encourage, I mean, any founder that joins us, our assumption is that that founder has joined us because they're interested in learning about their advisory board, governing board, kind of how to do these things and how it connects to fundraising. And they're probably going to be fundraising at some point if they're not right now. So I tell like all the individuals who join us who want to take advisor seats or do pro bono advisory work or write an angel check, I tell all of those people, I don't care if the founder has created the listings or not. If they join us, your presumption should be that they're probably interested in those things. So if you see a founder, like, so say Kabila, you were busy and you hadn't created any individual listings yet, so you hadn't like identified to the community, I'm looking for a go-to-market advisor who can really help my top of the funnel, or like whatever it is, you haven't done it yet. But say we have a member that just loves everything about Kabila, comes across your startup, is like, I just really want to connect with this guy, James. Do you think he might be fundraising? Do you think he might be interested in adding to his board? I tell that person 100% email James right now, because
just send a message on the platform. Say hi. Right. Be human. Be normal. Hello.
Right.
Hi.
But I mean, all this to say, like, yes, we do have a process where you join us, and then we try and make it as easy as possible for founders to kind of be sucked in, and like we try and guide you. We create your first listing for you. We try and like really.
What do you mean by that? You create your first listing.
So like when a founder, clicks on the link, signs up, and hopefully all the founders here will take advantage of 4 months free that you get.
You're jumping the gun here because I need to go ahead. Don't tell yet because I need to chastise Reg first. So don't tell. Finish your thought, and I got to chastise him with my digital ruler.
So forget you heard that. So when the founder clicks on the link, and then you come inside, we ask you some very basic information, and then we ask you like about 3 or 4 questions. Like we ask you like, what industry, what skill set would be most valuable for you as an advisor, right now at this moment. We collect that information, and then you have joined, you have a company account, you have a connected individual member account. But meanwhile, us in the background, within that first like kind of 48 hours of you joining, we go and look at how you answered those questions, and we create an advisor post. And then we email you and we say, we took the liberty to make this for you to get you started. You can always go in and edit it or unpublish it, but we're hoping that it gets you going so that then you'll be encouraged to opt into our back room, talk
Amazing. That's so good. That's so good. I wish I had the capacity of the brains to do something like that here, but I digress. So look, so Reg, Reg is in our community. Reg, I love Reg, but Reg doesn't clearly follow directions. Deb works with Reg. I'm sure Deb's cracking up right now because he, asked to put, he's going, ouch. Put your questions in the Q&A, not in the chat. But since I'm looking at your question in the chat, Reg, I'll go ahead and ask it for you. Actually, before I do that, I apologize. I want to come back to that. I do want to say, because not everybody was on the call at the top when Brain said that they have about 3,500 members in their community. 2,000 senior executive women from general counsels to C-suite or senior VPs across industries and skill sets, 800 plus startups and entrepreneurs on the platform, 35 affiliate funds, 150. What's an affiliate fund? It's a venture fund?
Yeah. And there's a family office, and there's
family office and venture funds. Okay. 150 plus angels, LPs, and GPs are general partners who are venture capitalists. So like this is a legit community of badass, mostly women, right?
Yes. Although, and the thing I want to say about that is that we did start out 100% women. So only women founders, women executives who want to sit on boards and invest, and then only women-led funds and only women investors. We were 100% women. Then we opened it up to BIPOC because we were like, okay, wait, this is really about closing the imbalance.
Yeah,
It's not limited to gender. Then we were like, okay, wait, let's take even a further step back, because it's illegal in the United States to limit membership based on race or gender. So there is a group out there, a right-wing group, that has sued all the other organizations like ours and will come after us, AKA Fearless Fund. So there is that existential legal threat, but then also taking a bigger step back, it was like, you know what? We don't need to limit this to gender or race, because at the end of the day, this is capitalism. If we, change the system and
Yeah.
make it available and democratize access, underserved folks will take more, will make more use of this and will provide more value. So actually, women, men, everyone, this is wholly inclusive on all levels.
I'm so glad that y'all did that, honestly. And I was so glad when Kat reached out to me and encouraged me to create a profile. But it wasn't until our conversation a few weeks ago that I really kind of tapped in to understand the potential and the power of what you were doing, which, I don't know, maybe there's an opportunity there for you all, but I didn't really get it, but I get it now. And this is why I'm bringing y'all to the people in my Kabila community, also to my Parentpreneur Foundation community. Kiana and Kimberly are in both of my communities. They're following me around. I guess they must like me a little bit or something. I don't know. So hey, Reg, I'm going to come to your question at the end, because that was actually my last question on the list. Kimberly said, we do. Kiana says, absolutely. I love y'all. So Deb says, what percentage of your offering leads to funding versus advisory board creation? Do you have that information?
No, I mean, unfortunately, I don't have like the percentage.
It's hard because you don't get a cut of it. You don't know when the transaction occurred.
Right. Although, what I can tell you is that there's, I want to say 200 active angel advisor listings right now in our board marketplace. There are around 750 total. So 200 of them are contingent on investment. In our back room, there's around 100 different fundraisers happening right now. And those are separate from boards. That's, there is purely about fundraising. But the other thing I'd say about this is that honestly, it's really, really true. And I'm saying this from the founder, seed stage founder myself, raising a $2 million round.
For Fourth Effect?
For Fourth Effect.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And which has been, let me tell you how great that has been for us to really eat our own cooking, to really learn about
amazing,
building a product to help seed founders. And so we are building out our board, we are raising our round, and it's really hard.
Amazing.
We've learned so much going through this. So our product is only getting better and better as we actually learn what actually works. But also what really matters. And money is what matters, right? We need capital, we need money. We don't get it. Especially if there's a select group that gets it. Everybody else doesn't. So
well, the BIPOC, et cetera, founders less than 10% of venture capital, right?
Oh no.
We get the crumbs.
2%. I mean, we get nothing.
Women is less than 2%. Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
I'm talking if you lumped everybody together, it's like 10.
Okay. And the thing is that I think this is good. I mean, it sucks and it's horrible and it's unfair and we should change venture. But the good side of this is that we are so resourceful and we have to get to $1 million ARR. We have to. And if we didn't have to, then I think it would be I have faith that this makes underrepresented founders really resilient, really resourceful, and honestly a better investment a lot of the time, because it is so much harder for us to make it past the first year and the second year and the third year. And it's really hard to fundraise, and having the superpower of the right relationships with the right people.
Yeah.
I honestly think makes a giant difference in that fundraise journey.
100%. So Reg said, well, thank you, Reg, for following instructions. Look at him. He's so good. When you say back room, is that similar to a data room, or is it another set of function services?
So did I say the back room? Is that what I said?
Is it the investment room?
That's our private investment club. We called it room because we were scared of the SEC. The regulations have been loosening up, so I'm more comfortable calling it a private investment club now. So we're kind of embracing that name.
Okay, cool. So Delroy wants to know what the pricing is after the first month. All right, we're gonna get to that here. Settle down. We're gonna get to it. I guess that's great. These are great buying questions. They're excited about it. This is amazing. All right, so let me get to this because we have 6 minutes left, so I can get to these questions here. So let's talk about. So we're partnering with the fourth effect with Breen and Kat, and as I mentioned, Kat's in the community. Breen, we got to have you join the community too. We'd love for you just kind of just see, set your notifications however you want, daily digest, whatever. But I want you like plugged in here, and I feel like you could be such a powerful ally and advocate for the members in our community. So let's talk about the partnership. You want to talk about what we're doing? I'll let you talk about it. You talk about it.
Yeah. I mean, basically, so we created a separate dedicated landing page for Kabila community founders on our website. So hopefully,
I'll drop it in a replay in the community here after the fact. Yep.
So hopefully you can go in, check that out. We also have just totally revamped our website. So hopefully it's helpful in and of itself in case anything I've described, you kind of forget. So we try and be really clear about what the value prop is for founders, et cetera. And then when you go to this dedicated landing page, really the purpose of it is for you to have a home to come in and have access to your own special code, which will give you the first 4 months free.
Yay. So I'll drop that after the fact as well. Okay. So that's a $200 value because it's, $50 a month. So that's 4 months free.
Right.
They save you $200. But like, just think about what she's been describing this whole time and the incredible value. People, some of these people in this space, like Kimberly with, just her ride share. This is something for women. You got a community of badass women. That's going to naturally resonate. They're going to be, oh, what's this? Right. And, Delroy, they're doing B2B supplier diversity. They're trying to shake up that whole, make it easier for people to get access to these opportunities. Right. So this is whole consistent with your vision and values. People are going to be like, oh, well, what's this? Right. And then Kiana, she's doing interesting things around video production for children, for Black kids and kids of color. It's going to be people like Kimmy. Oh, well, what's this? Right. So this is not like a space where you come in and people are like, what the fuck, right? Excuse my French. It's not going to be that. Well, that shit is so annoying because, don't get me started. Sorry. But this ain't that. This is going to be like a friendly space where people are not going to be like crapping on your ideas because they don't care, right? They will at least give it a fair shake, which is what we all ask for.
Right. Right.
Rant over.
Thank you. And I guess, and I have many rants, but one of my rants has to do with founders and with charging founders money, because let me tell you, if I could, if I was the master of the universe, I would do this differently. I would pay founders. So what I would do is I would let every founder, so basically founders should be applying to join us. And then when we accept you, then you can access non-dilutive grant funding. And what you have to do in return is learn about your advisory board, governing board, create seats, and build a diverse, balanced, equitable board along the journey. And we would literally pay you to do that. And so this is where, I'm trying to work this out. It's taken a while. I don't have the pot of money yet, but that's where I'm headed with this. That's what I would like to do. And we also are starting an official angel group so that active angels that want to, do due diligence on the founders who are fundraising in our back room can select the ones that they want to write a check for, like, immediately. So we're going to run SPVs. We're going to let our angels write those checks and invest directly into our founders in the back room so that we're on the cap table. So, because we have never wanted to take equity from a founder fundraising, but we would like to give them a check and equity that way. So, this is like where we're headed. Now, I might have to sit on a plane with Melinda Gates first before I can.
Listen, how great would it be if you just got a call or email from her out the blue? Just like, I'm like, all the nonprofit stuff I've done, like, where is my damn $1 million check? Anyway, I digress. That would be amazing, right?
We'll tag her on YouTube when this goes public, because
I will.
honestly,
all right.
Yeah.
All right. So hopefully that answers your question. So I'm going to post the replay in the community. I'll get the link to the landing page and then the coupon code, and you guys can just go sign up. And I would highly recommend every Friday, right? You guys do the Q&A. What is that?
Yeah. So we call it a brainstorming session, but it's basically like hands-on. I mean, there's two things. One, we do platform tours. You sign up all over our website. You'll see it. We suck you in. But we do platform tours Mondays and Thursdays from 12 noon to 1 Eastern Standard Time. And then on Fridays, same time, 12 noon to 1 Eastern Standard Time, we do brainstorming sessions. So these meetings are onboarding. It is top of the funnel, but mostly it's like onboarding. And it's
just go
on how can we help you?
Just go. Y'all just go. Like if you sign up, just go. Like that's how I went, and she showed me, I met some really cool people, and she showed me how to use the platform to connect with LPs for my fundraising. And right after that, boom, I was on it. So just go. Oh, one last thing before you hop, the boot camp. Can you talk about the boot camp that's coming up next Wednesday?
Thank you. Okay, so yes, we do board boot camp every 6 weeks. There's one coming up on the 31st, next Wednesday. We always do it from 12 noon to 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It is intended for founders as well as the other side, the individuals who want to advise and invest.
Yeah.
And it's a comprehensive 2-hour, it's interactive, there's networking, it's really valuable. There's also a lot of legal templates, documents, resources. Like it's a great thing to do, but you have to pay unless you're a member. So go sign up, get the free membership, and then come to Board Bootcamp.
Yes. And y'all, look, go again. Lines, not dots. Is there going to be people looking for board seats? These are going to be talented, capable, well-heeled people, probably writing checks, angel investors. Go, like show up, talk about what you're doing. If there's a space to do that, connect with people, build relationships, get these relationships going, get to these bags, like keep it moving. So we are at time. I try to be respectful. I know I said 30 minutes, but we're at time. Breen, you're amazing. I'm so thankful that Kat, I'm glad Kat's not here. Don't you tell her I said that.
I will tell her that, and I will tell her that I told you can call Kat the Hop.
But no, if Kat was here, she never would have told me to talk to you. Would have been doing this. I already know Kat. I'm glad I got to know you.
It's really nice.
Right? And I'm glad you had a chance to come through and do this. So y'all, tap in, look out. I'm going to post this in the community after the fact. Tap in, like go make these connections, go get in the platform, tell your friends. Well, they don't get the free plan unless they're in the Kabila community, sorry, or Parentpreneur Foundation. So that's how we're doing that. But anyway, that's it. I appreciate y'all. Good to see you, Breen. Catch you next time. Later.